Hello, welcome friends. Today in this video, I will discuss Michel Foucault's view on Aphrodisia. First of all, we should know the origin of Aphrodisia. The Aphrodisia was an annual festival held in ancient Greece in honor of Aphrodite, the goddess of love, beauty, and desire. It took place in several ancient Greek towns, especially important in Attica and on the island of Cyprus, where Aphrodite was venerated, was revered, was honored with a magnificent celebration. Greek word aphrodisiac literally means work of Aphrodite. Sexual intercourse was aphrodisiac or the thing of Aphrodite. Surviving writings on the subject of sexual ethics universally address the male citizen who occupied a privileged place in Athenian society. Men were encouraged to engage in sexual behavior with their needs timely and appropriate for their social status. Sexual behavior with needs means you should not overindulge sexual desire. Sexual behavior timely means have sex with appropriate season and appropriate stage of life. A life of such moderation demanded a struggle of reason and will against emotion. Self-mastery is a source of personal freedom and enables mastery over others. Now we should know the meaning of aphrodisia at present time. The term at present time refers to anything that enhances or stimulates sexual desire or pleasure. It can be used to describe substances, activities, or experiences that are believed to have the ability to increase libido or enhance sexual performance. Aphrodisiacs can include food, herbs, fragrance, and various forms of stimulation, all of which are thought to heighten sexual arousal and improve sexual experiences. Now we should know, what does Foucault say on aphrodisia? Foucault wrote the book The History of Sexuality. It has 4 volumes. The name of the second volume is The Use of Pleasure. The part 1 of the second volume is entitled as The Moral Problematization of Pleasures. In this part 1 of the second volume, there is the first chapter. The name of the first chapter is Aphrodisia. Here, Foucault says the ancient Greeks did not have a concept of sexuality, or what medieval Christians would call the flesh. They considered sexual activity not as a sinful temptation or as a marker of identity. To the ancient Greeks, sexual activity was a pleasure to be indulged with moderation and care. Foucault picks out the Greek word aphrodisiac as an umbrella term for sexual behavior as viewed in the ancient world. Foucault says Greeks of the classical age, in their thinking about aphrodisia, were not interested in praising or condemning specific acts. Rather, their overriding concern was with moderation, sophisine, and self-mastery, enkratia. To explain how the Greeks and Romans constituted the aphrodisia as a domain of moral concern, Foucault uses 4 notions. Number 1, the ontology. Number 2, the deontology. Number 3, the aesthetics. And number 4 is the teleology of the moral experience of sexuality. Now, ontology. What is ontology? Ontology is a branch of metaphysics dealing with the nature of being. In this case, ontology searches for the answer of the question like, what is the force of sexual desires and how does this force link together, acts together? How does this force works for pleasures and desires? Next, deontology. Deontology is an ethical theory using rules to determine moral actions. In this case, deontology searches for the answer of the question like how to enjoy sexual pleasure as one ought. Number 3, aesthetics. Aesthetics is the practicing strict self-denial as a measure of personal and spiritual discipline. In this case, ascetics searches for the answer of the question like what attitude to oneself is required. Number 4, teleology. Teleology is the doctrine of design and purpose in the material world, or it is the explanation of phenomena in terms of the purpose they serve rather than of the cause by which they arise. In this case, teleology searches for the answer of the question like what does the ethical subject once fulfilled look like? Thus, Foucault says that the Greek philosophers of the Golden Age developed sophisticated sexual ethics, even as they said little about sex directly. In their calls for moderation and abstinence, some philosophers drew themes that would later be taken up by Christian thinkers. Foucault insists that those classical thinkers advocated sexual self-control for different reasons than their Christian counterparts. To those philosophers and to their Greco-Roman successors, controlling one's sexual behavior was a path to self-mastery. The self-mastery took the form not of a moral code dividing right and wrong. The self-mastery took the form of an art of living that responded to one's social position and stage of life. Thank you for watching this video to the last.